Hi, I'm Eric Grant with Sayrite. In this tutorial video, we're going to show you how to use a foam saw. You could also use an electric kitchen knife and cut wedges in foam. Wedges are often put in applications where a cushion will go up against a wall that's not straight, say it's angled, or sometimes in a seat bottom like a bucket seat where you have a seat that captures your bottom and you need to cut wedges in the foam to accommodate that. We're going to show you how it's done. So to measure for a wedge, you first need to know the height of your foam or the thickness of your foam. Ours is 4 inches. Okay, I know we aren't on a boat or we don't have a real wedge. This is our mock wedge. So let's pretend this is the surface where our seat cushion will be placed, and our seat cushion will come up against the wall, but the wall is not a perfect 90-degree angle. It has a wedge to it. So what do? Well, you take a measuring device like this and you put it on the deck or the surface, and then you take a second one and you measure straight to the surface the height of the foam. Our foam is 4 inches. So what do I get? I get 1.5 inches. You can see that at the intersection of 4 inches. It's slightly off, but we're going to use 1.5 inches as our wedge measurement. That's how you measure for a wedge. So now all we need to do is transfer that 1.5 inches, which is right here against the edge. I'm using the clear acrylic ruler, and we need to strike a line with our marker at 1.5 inches from that edge. Okay, there we go. I'm going to use the Sayrite blade foam saw for this, and I'm going to take off the base mainly because it's going to get in the way. All you need to do is release this, not take it out all the way, and make sure you do it with it unplugged. And then what I usually do is I put it on the floor and I just put my feet over top of the base and I wiggle it and it comes right out. First off, you need to find a sharp table like this that's sacrificial because you might damage a table. Then, since we're going to cut all the way to this corner, we need the foam to be the size of the blade. In other words, not up against the edge, but sticking out about, what is that, 1/8 of an inch or so. Okay, then we're going to use something like a 2x4 along the top so that we can hold the foam in place nicely. And we're going to take our foam saw, we're going to position the blade down here against the table, and we're going to make sure that it's the right distance. In other words, cutting into our line and up against the board. And then we're going to measure this and make sure that it's straight, or we can just eyeball it to make sure that the distance here is the same as it is here. And that looks to be about right. I'm just going to measure to make sure that I have it perfectly. Yep, it's exactly parallel to that line. Now, to make sure that we hold it in place well, I'm going to use some clamps, and I'm going to clamp it in place. So I'm going to position one here and on the other end. Okay, so now we're set up. Everything is in position. My clamps are out of the way of my tool, and I should be able to just cut along here. Now, don't put your finger anywhere on the blade, but I am going to keep my finger down here, just away from the cutting edge. Look at that. Nicely done. Okay, so now I'm going to take it out and we're going to set up our jig that we had before and see if it fits. We are set up. Let's see how it fits. Bam. Look at that. It's perfect.
In this next chapter, the wedge will not go all the way to the bottom edge.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to say we want to cut a wedge, but we don't want it to go all the way to the corner. So we're marking 2 inches in, and let's just randomly put it at, let's say, 1 inch down from the edge. We set up the board in the same way, but we're going to use the saw upside down. So notice this, we're going to have the blade of the saw up against the 2x4, and this line is all I have to pay attention to here. I'm not up against the table here. So now I just pay attention to this one and make sure the blade's up against the board, and I hold here away from the cutting blade.
If you like this video, give it a
Very
thumbs up
nice.
and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. We're trying to hit the 500,000 subscribers mark. Thanks for your help in achieving that goal, and thanks for watching.